All right, everybody. Welcome to the live taping of the Love Happy Hour podcast. And, yeah.
Gail is in the house.
And here we go.
Welcome to the Love Happy Hour with Kaylin Rosenberg, the love architect, author, celebrity matchmaker, and renowned relationship expert. Belly up to the love bar. Single or married, here's your cocktail for an incredible love life.
Okay, we're doing this again.
We are.
Right?
We're back.
We're back. It's an interesting night. There's a lot, the weather-wise, there's a lot going on. It was raining, and then it was wet this morning. I thought it was going to be cold, so I put on all my fall clothes, and then it was like, it felt like it was 80.
Where you gasp when you walk outside.
Right? What the heck? I thought it was
breathe.
fun. It's Minnesota, and it's cold and chilly, and then it's really hot, and then it's warm. It doesn't know what it wants to be. Just like love and relationships sometimes, right?
Oh, yeah. Well,
We're always trying to figure it out.
yeah, that's the problem. Is it's hard to figure out sometimes, but I mean, just like Minnesota weather, we find a way.
Yeah,
and
right.
You keep plugging away at it,
We keep trying.
and eventually
We hang in there.
get a nice day ahead of you.
Amen. So welcome and thank you for being here. And this whole experience with our podcast is really, it's meant to advise. It's meant to help. It's meant to heal. It's meant to entertain a little bit. It is meant to bring people together. It's meant to sometimes separate people. It's meant to bring you truth and reality about everything that you need and that you deserve and that is good for you when it comes to love and life. That's what we're about. The Love Happy Hour.
And,
With a cocktail in hand, sometimes.
Exactly, and have some fun. Cocktail.
Right.
Exactly. There we go. Yes.
Yeah.
So we have some interesting stuff coming up. Well, Kaylin does, I know.
Yeah?
You're
I do.
Kaylin's going to be traveling overseas.
Yeah, I'm excited to do
Across
that.
the pond.
Mm-hmm. Again. They're
yes.
lovely over there in London. So we're heading over to London, the UK. I have, Todd, how many men? Do we know how many men? 73 men? 70 some men. Amazing men I'm interviewing that wanted to meet a client that I have that's now madly in love. So she's all good, which amen, hallelujah. But these are amazing men. So we're meeting them there. We're interviewing them in person. I'm bringing my team. And then we're hoping to introduce them to some really lovely women. Or my friend Gail, who's in the house. Over in London. And we're doing some press. That's exciting. We're going to talk about love and relationships and why people are constantly sabotaging love and they don't even know it. So we have a lot of love and support over there, and we're excited. Yeah.
You're also meeting with some kind of bigwigs in the
in the dating world, online dating,
the media world.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. Yes, I'm speaking. So there's an international conference happening over in London, and
Hashtag keynote speaker.
Yeah, I'm excited. So yes, I will be representing the U.S. on love and relationships, and kind of helps when Meghan Markle actually did a decent job landing a good guy over there. So we have a little more love and support coming from that side, which is good. Yeah, so I'm excited. It'll be fun. I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know.
Well, I hope so. Otherwise, obviously, I wonder what happened to
Where'd
Kaylin.
she go?
She's not here anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's in the eye. Yeah.
Just kind of walking around. Okay. Well, yeah, London's a great place. You'll have to get a picture at least of the obligatory phone booth picture, which they still have there.
All right, fine. Okay.
Which is
I'll do it.
crazy because you can't find a payphone here, but in England.
Those darling red.
Yeah.
Oh, they're darling.
They know it's iconic, so that we'll just keep these around. We'll keep doing maintenance on them and everything like that. Everyone knows them.
Put some couples in there.
Yeah.
See how it works.
Exactly.
Right?
I don't know. They're pretty big.
They're not that large.
They're
no.
normal size?
They're normal size.
I thought they
yeah,
seemed
I don't
a little
even. I
bigger
think
than-
you're too young to remember, but thanks for trying. Yeah.
Well, I've used a few phone cards from London calling back. Yes, just
Okay.
I need help. Things like that. It's always very exciting every time I've been. So we have that coming up, and we touched on some celebrity stories last week, which we have a couple updates. I guess you could say we talked about Justin Bieber and Haley Baldwin.
Oh yeah, we supported that one.
Yes, but they got married and they had no prenuptial agreement signed, which.
Okay, I'm deer in headlights. I'm supposed to know this.
I know.
That's
all about
I'm
this.
too busy. They
Yeah, I
got
know.
married. They did it.
They got married, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, at least I'm in support. Okay, good. All right. All right, I support it. Yeah, what? Now what? They're already in the tabloids for the... Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, for their not signing a prenuptial agreement. Justin Bieber, his net worth is estimated around $265 million.
Okay.
And Haley Baldwin, around $3 million.
Okay.
But that's before, with Alec Baldwin still being alive and well.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how the whole breakdown, their
right.
the will works for them.
We don't know.
Yes.
She could get nothing and she could get more. I mean, okay, so what's the issue?
Well, people are just thinking like, oh, he has a lot to lose now.
Oh, Lord, how much do you need?
Yeah, exactly.
You only need so much. So he has 270-some million.
Yeah.
He can split that in half with her.
Yeah, well, and also, I mean, why not just go into it thinking
He'll be fine.
This will work out. Maybe that's a quaint idea.
That is the best way to go into it. Exactly. Well, yeah, I think she's clearly not going into the marriage for his money.
No.
She's been around stardom. She has money. Again, you only need so much to be happy. After your first, second, or third million, or even your first 100,000, or your first, you only need so much to be happy and to be able to travel and experience nice things and enjoy. It's about the soul, people. It's about love. It's about friendship. It's about connection. Well, so the minute you start,
a lot of people are paying money.
That one bugs me now.
To try and find love. So, I mean, it's just like, why not just be like, okay, well, I found love, so I'm not going to worry about that
We're
as
all
much.
good, exactly.
You would hope that it was like that, at least.
So let's go back to it. Okay, so they got married.
Yes.
She didn't sign one, or she did.
Neither of them did. No prenup.
Oh, amen, hallelujah. So there's no problem.
Right.
But is someone having a problem
people
with
are
it?
like, well, what about his money? She has less money than he does. What if she gets all that money? What if she gets half of it?
Well, good for her.
People
Okay,
are very
good.
concerned with Justin Bieber's financial
fine.
situation, which seems like I'd be more concerned with other things Justin Bieber has done or been through in his life than his money situation. But
they're good. They love each other. It's good.
Yeah. More celebrity news that, this one's a little bit interesting. You guys know who Tom Hardy is, the actor, right? He has a superhero film.
Kind of cute.
He is.
If you like that rugged thing. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I just try and look like Tom Hardy every day. Oh, wear a flannel, beard. Sure, yes.
There you go. All right.
He has a movie, Venom, coming out, which is a superhero film, which are always very successful.
Yeah.
On the same weekend as Lady Gaga's new movie, A Star Is Born.
Which looks really good.
It does.
Yeah.
They both look, I mean, I haven't really seen that many
There's some great chemistry in that movie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
she did a great job.
So, controversy being stirred up where people noticed that there was a lot of really negative reviews from really weird name accounts on all these websites about the Venom movie. And then some fan who's like, a higher up fan in the echelon of Lady Gaga fans said, it's us. It's Lady Gaga's Little Monsters,
literally
going out, and we're just trying to smash this movie so her movie will do better.
Oh man, and they're so not getting it, because if they're truly following her and they're her little monsters or whatever that is, she's so about love and peace and people being united and talking about. Oh my gosh, she's been out there talking about mental illness and just loving on one another and kindness and working with the Dalai Lama. So her peeps aren't getting it.
No.
She wouldn't be happy with that. She wouldn't be cool with that.
No, I'm sure she'll release a statement within the next day
Calm
saying,
them all down.
please don't do this, because, I mean, if it's number one or number two movie, you're still in a movie and you're already Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
You have things going for you at that point.
They're missing it.
Yeah.
No, and she has such a powerful voice and influence that hopefully she can turn that around, because we already have enough of that crap going on. Democrat, Republican, divide everywhere. It's like, come on, please. No. That's a bummer.
We have a lot of division going on right now, to be sure. And hopefully we can all come together at some point again. But it feels it's going to be a difficult road to hoe. But, I mean, it's possible. It's been done before. I mean, back in World War II, no one wanted us to go to war. Some people did want us to go to war. It ended up all working out in the end. Hopefully we can just avoid wars completely and all kind of come back together.
People.
Be nice.
Just be kind. Come on. We all want the same thing. We do at the end of the day.
We do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just safety, security, right?
Love.
Everything. Yeah.
Peace.
So
Yeah.
Those are my two celebrity stories for the day.
Okay, that's good. That's
Yeah.
cool. And then, so what? Our theme today, we just, every podcast we have a different theme. And our theme this week is.
What's your fantasy?
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay. And so what made you decide to come up with that one?
Well, being from here and
Where's
also
here?
Minnesota and
Okay.
being very Scandinavian, people find it often very difficult to talk about personal preferences on even things as minute as candy bars, let alone things about being open and honest about what they actually feel or want.
There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
A
also
little codependence happening, yeah.
I mean, in fantasy in general is in the current world we live in, an escape, right? Just because you're able to, well, that's the fantasy is you can look at a scenario in your mind's eye that for some reason you enjoy thinking of. Like it could be riding a Pegasus, a flying horse, off into the sunset.
Okay. So that's your idea of fantasy.
Some people's, some days.
Oh, sure.
Tuesdays,
Okay. So to
sure.
me, yeah. So yeah, I get fantasy, and we usually think if we think fantasy or we hear fantasy, we think sexual sometimes, right? But fantasy can be a wish, a dream, a hope,
Goals,
right? A
goals,
goal,
yes.
like healing the world or the planet,
So if people can
Yeah,
picture
which
themselves doing something like that,
right?
then you can kind of maybe step back from it a little bit because it's in front of you as opposed to just in your head.
Yeah.
And you can kind of pick apart what I would need to do to get to that point.
Okay. So what'd you find out?
Oh, I found out.
What do we know about fantasy, Mike?
Well, fantasies. Well, we should probably. We'll get into the fantasy bit. A little teaser. A little teaser for you guys.
Okay.
We'll talk about all different types. And I went to some out in the world to get questions for people involving this, and
So you got some good stuff.
Some good stuff. Some
Okay.
really good write-in questions because I wasn't surprised about that because a lot of people don't want to talk in person and be open about that type of thing, and especially seeking advice.
So you got them to open up.
Yes.
Few people
They opened up to the email.
sharing. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Sharing it all. All right. let's
Very
hear it.
nice. Yeah. So we will
Good.
take
We'll
a
hear that in a
quick
bit.
commercial break,
Okay.
and we will be right back after these messages.
You found some success in life, but that love thing? You could use a little help there. Kaylin Rosenberg and her team at the Lodge Social Club are so passionate about helping you find someone special. Once you meet Kaylin, a world-renowned relationship expert, or her team, you'll be amazed by her passion for finding someone for special singles like you. Special singles. You see, the Lodge Social Club doesn't accept just anyone. Everyone is vetted and screened because you deserve better than just anyone. You deserve to connect with successful people like you. It's not matching merely because you're both single. It's about finding someone who fits you mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. The Lodge.
Hello again, this is Mike Fratelloni from Fratelloni's Ace Hardware and Garden Stores. Come on in if you need a new mower and check out the Toro 22-inch, 7-horsepower Personal Pace. Personal Pace is self-propelled that as you walk forward, it walks at your speed. If you stop, it stops. It's really the creme de la creme of self-propel. It's absolutely fantastic, not to mention that Toros are the best mower. They are the best. We'll show you all the different models, and you can pick up this 22-inch
Before we get started and we're talking about fantasies and all sorts of stuff and introducing my dear friend Gail, we have a cocktail. We have a bartender.
Just like
Do
that.
we ever?
Yeah. Yeah, we have a bartender
Do we
here.
ever have a bartender?
He's been here before, you guys. Like, we know Jay, right?
He's hot.
Woot woot. Oh, Gail says no one's
Hot.
seen him.
Jay,
Okay.
can you,
She
can you,
says she says you're hot.
Can you hear us, Jay?
And he's
I
single.
can hear
And-
you pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
He's single. Ready to
Okay.
mingle.
She's very shy.
Yeah,
so just
we have a
you
good
know.
cocktail tonight.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's working out.
Okay, what is it?
Well, Mike, you ordained the name. Do you have the...
Yes, it's the Noble Nectar.
He really got into this
I
thing.
did. I
He
thought.
didn't get
Yes.
into the fantasy.
And
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna hear about it. Okay, Noble
And,
Nectar. Tell us about that.
We're kind of we're going with mead tonight, which is fermented honey, and it was a very
Ooh.
popular drink amongst the Vikings back in the early 100s, 200, 300 AD. We're spiking it with a little vodka and a little ginger beer and a lemon squeeze.
It's nummy.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
kind of subtle, but it'll sneak up on you.
Is anyone enjoying it? Has anyone had any? Yes.
See, that's a,
Good.
Yeah, very unorthodox drink, but it works well.
It's what we have a couple beautiful women saying what? It is sneaking up on the women, Jay. Don't
Yeah.
you do that though.
Okay.
No. We don't like being yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And how are you? Okay, so you are here from Montana.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, I
and-
moved here from Montana a few months ago.
Yeah. Here,
Loving
come on
it.
over.
Love the Twin Cities.
And okay, what do you love about it?
I
Give
love
us
the
a little
it's
shout out.
multicultural. A lot of great food. A lot of good people.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, a lot of great music, good architecture, good art.
So you're seeing
But
it
the
all.
people are great.
Yeah.
And have you been dating yet?
No, I have not.
Oh.
So not quite yet.
I'm just getting to know the city,
Okay, taking it slow.
taking it slow.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe too slow, but taking it slow.
It'll all happen.
Gotta be weird having that whole cell phone service, running water, stuff like that.
Yeah,
You
it's
got used
crazy.
to
It
Yeah.
is. It's wonderful. Soap, all that.
But you know, you guys, the
What?
lodge does remind you of Montana.
Oh, hey.
I know.
I
I'm
know.
looking at it going, yeah. So
But I have a
close to Montana.
computer
So I have to
here.
explain who this
and,
woman
that
is
was
here
good.
to my left.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So, Gail. So this is interesting. So we're talking about fantasy, right? We haven't really
We're going to.
started.
We're going to.
And you know, if people know me, one of my dreams and my fantasies and my passion is to honestly find a way to heal this world when it comes to love and relationships, and that it is all the pain and all the disconnect and everything that we feel that isn't working for us in life and as a planet, as a society. We all have individually the power to change that, to fix that, and and then within that, if you narrow it down to the sexes of men and women can be nasty creatures for some reason with one another. They're not like you. We have this group of women that are just amazing. They were telling me what fabulous friends they are, and they have fun, and they roll around on the floor and just giggle and laugh.
Okay, that sounds really interesting.
Where's this happening at?
Mike is right there. But no, I mean, obviously we can bond with women and we can be close, or we can be really mean and we can be really vicious, and we can, as a whole, women kind of have a hard time. We're sort of a competitive group in society of judgment, and we're not really showing up for one another the way we should and we deserve to. We need to love on each other, and we need to learn to have each other's backs more. And so Gail and I, we go way back. We met in high school. She was one of my dearest friends. I absolutely adored her. She was a year older than me, and I looked up to her, and we were really tight and really close. And then we hit a wall in our friendship, and we didn't talk for years, and we were not nice. And just recently we reconnected, and we
kept running into each other.
We did, and kind of
Finally I gave up. I said, the universe is speaking to me again.
Right. And you know, now 20 some years later, we finally we realized, okay, God is God, or spirit, or whatever you believe in. The universe is bringing us together over and over. There's something to mend and something to heal, and we finally did. We just came together as women. Women have been through marriage and been through divorce and been through children and been through all sorts of things in life, high and low, and just said, hey, you know what? We didn't say this, but I'm saying it. It's like, listen, I love you. I've always loved you, and I'm so sorry if I ever hurt you. And so we're now rekindling and reconnecting as women who have been through a lot, and looking at ways that we can now try to empower and help other women, especially her. She's an amazing, I've always just had deep respect for her, amazing, brilliant, talented, really, no, she's funny too. But seriously, I mean, she's just this ridiculously gifted soul that has so much to give, and she has some really beautiful, fun work coming up to empower women around the world, and I'm excited to support that and help her. So this is my dear friend, Gail Primovich.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
You're like, that is an awesome intro. I love it. So good. I know you've been practicing for a while.
Yeah, in the mirror. Yeah,
well, that's okay. So she covered everything. However, what's interesting about Kay and I is that we did divorce from each other for a while. We're both strong A-type personalities, and we kind of went head to head. And I think what's interesting about us, our generation, I don't think we were taught as young girls. We loved our sisters and we loved our besties, but then when you went after college and went into the real world, nobody really navigated or counseled me to prepare me for corporate America. And I remember when I was in my 20s, and I had that big Madonna hair thing going on, and like lots of makeup. Okay, I love makeup. So, and so I went to Medtronic, and it was surprise, and it was all women. We were the worker bees. We ran the business, and then the men were over here, and we were here, and we kind of everybody started to jockey for their little piece of the pie instead of all of us uniting and working together. And it was
that's interesting.
So you kind of start to look at life in a different way.
A competitive spirit.
Yes, and I think we get jaded, and so we kind of there's no playbook on how to do it politically correct, with integrity,
Or just lovingly and soulfully.
Lovingly and soulfully. So that's one of the things that I've found that's really something important to me in my life now. And what's interesting is that was her journey. And then now that we've come back together, we're literally on the same path.
Yeah,
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's fascinating. And it shows a little bit of my ignorance because I didn't, I started my business in my early 20s and I didn't really have anybody to compete with other than myself and my own shit and getting out of my own way. But I didn't really compete with other women in business truly in my own mind and experience. But yet it was more about men, right? So I see us all kind of competing for positioning with regard to the male side of this. But then to see in the corporate world that we're jockeying in that sense too, that's heavy duty. So we need to change that. That stuff's just got to stop.
I think it's just, in general, just how to communicate. I think communication is huge. And that's a complicated word in itself. How
what does that really mean?
And I always, because I'm so vocal and I'm kind of funny and sassy and sarcastic, I always thought, oh my God, I'm such a great communicator. No, not so much. Just because I can talk a lot and can ad lib does not mean I'm a good communicator. And quite frankly, I found out recently that I'm not that great. And so how do you be, and I always say, oh, I want to be transparent, I want to be honest. Really? Because honesty kind of sucks. I'm not good at being honest because I don't want to hurt other people's feelings. And I don't, so that's
very interesting.
Another, and so for me, at my wonderful age, I'm learning to be honest, transparent, have integrity, and and do the Minnesota nice.
Well, but it's healing. I mean, but the whole thing of honesty and integrity, it's just really, it's just all we were talking earlier, not this group of women that you cannot see, but about
they look like
the
the
healing.
Sex and the City girls.
Actually, they kind of do, don't they?
I just want to know who's Samantha.
Right?
Oh, I already know.
Yeah. But just the energy, energy. Whatever we put out, it's hovering around us. It follows us. We are attracting, as we hear all the time, just like the old thing of The Secret, but we attract the exact thing that we have hovering in ourselves and our cell memory and our minds and our bodies. And I know this is getting way serious, honey. I'm so sorry. I wasn't expecting to go this direction, but it doesn't matter. So because this whole thing is about being real, being honest.
It's a podcast, too.
It is a podcast,
yes,
right?
It's all
talk and get it out.
Go it, yeah.
Go with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I swear?
You can. I swear all the time. Yeah.
Like a sailor.
It's not very lovingly, but I do.
Really.
I know. It's very feminine.
This could be trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. So
control myself.
Okay, so you chime in. That's how this goes. You just chime in however you want. If you have something to say.
I have ADD to say.
Yeah, we'll join
It'll
the club.
help.
Let's
It'll
join the
help.
club. Okay.
Should we tell everybody that Jay's single and
Jay is single.
looking to
from
mingle?
Montana.
We said that. I
he's
know,
a
but he's taking
newbie
his time.
to Minnesota, and ladies, just give him your phone number so that he always has somebody to call, some babe to call as a friend. Girls, we gotta really reach out to people.
For those out there in radio land, he kind of reminds me a bit of David Hasselhoff. The hair and everything like that. He's heard that before.
Oh my gosh, he has a great head of hair.
Yeah,
he does.
No?
Yeah, he's cute.
Yeah, he's heard it.
He's
before.
cute, and he's
Right, well,
nice.
let's see.
But he's doing it right. He's taking his time.
And
It's
he's
all good.
really smart.
Have
Okay, we're like, okay.
Have you heard that before, first of all?
Not the Hoff mic, no. No.
Congratulations, you got your
Thank
first
you.
one today.
Thank you, man.
All right, Mike, so take it. hon.
Okay, yeah. So, we, fantasies, right?
Oh,
A lot
yes.
of people, oh, good. Everyone's like, okay, what's he going to talk about? So, fantasies in general, like what the a fanciful mental image, typically one on which a person dwells at length or repeatedly, in which reflects their conscious
Ooh.
or unconscious wishes.
Or being.
Yes.
That's what it reflects. Okay. All right.
wherever they are. Yes.
Okay.
So then we get into like when people think of fantasies, right? Everyone's like, oh, fantasies, like sexual fantasies. It's like, well, possibly yes. So why do they even exist? Why is the forbidden so erotic?
What'd you learn?
Esther Perel says that as humans, men and women have a need for security, predictability, safety, dependability, reliability, and permanence.
Yep.
But we also have an equally strong need for adventure, novelty, risk, danger, for the unknown or the unexpected. What do you think of that?
I agree completely with the first half, not the second. Not
Oh.
everyone does need that.
Well,
The
don't you
novelty.
think that's age, though? Age has, when you're younger, oh my gosh, Kaylin, come on, let's go.
Well, this is
Tell-
you.
tell
Yeah, we're not
everybody.
talking- you and I
Okay.
are not.
No, we lived in New York City.
Oh, God,
okay,
here we go.
In the 80s. Hello, Madonna.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And we were young.
Right.
And we were so crazy. And we had such adventure and great fantasy. Not as grandiose, but it was so fun.
Oh, we had some crazy times. But what I've learned, I think, is it has, as we know, and as I experience with my clients, and when I'm interviewing or assessing them before I'll even work with them and match them with the right person for them. It is all about our upbringing. It is all about mom and dad. It is all about the home life. It is all about the safety that we had or not. It is all about how we were loved and honored or were we shamed and criticized. It is a plethora of stuff that then puts us in a space of not only how well do we know ourselves at the different stages of our lives, but how secure, how confident, what do we need from outside sources, not within or high above, that get us kind of in tune with what's good for us or not. And so that all of that plays into, being the daredevil or needing to have, what was one of the things that you said?
Novelty,
No, not that one.
risk.
Risk. There are a lot of kids, like even my son Jack. I mean, he is not a risk taker, and his friends are not big risk takers. But then there are other kids that need that. They need that adrenaline rush. They're trying to feel, right? And that can come from drugs. It can come from excitement or laughter. It can, all sorts of different things. But definitely, again, anything that you see people doing or you feel yourself doing, it's showing the truth and the reality of who you are inside and what's going on and what you need to pay attention to, good or bad. Yeah.
But does he play video games? Because that is a very
Fortnite.
That's right there, fantasy. People go
Fortnite.
out and do things that they can't actually do in reality, and it's a way for them to kind of have a little bit of catharsis for these whatever.
So is it like daydreaming?
Yes,
I'm trying to
daydreaming.
understand. Oh.
Daydreaming would be considered a fantasy too. Yes.
Okay. All right. So keep going.
Okay. So, there was a poll done
Okay.
of a lot of people, and
Like how many?
they don't say, like thousands of people.
You throwing that in, Mike?
98% of adults polled say that they have had or continue to have sexual fantasies.
They do?
98%. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Because the authors conclude that it's normal for happy couples to fantasize because acts that their morals and or ethics won't allow in real life.
Okay.
Our fantasies can break taboos that our actions never will. So it's kind of like living in this Matrix-like world where people can just kind of, oh, that'd be really great, but then they never do it, but it kind of gets it out of their system in a way.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, well, that's...
So there's some science there. Okay.
There
All right.
is, yes.
Okay.
Men's and women's fantasies actually overlap quite a bit more than you would think. And if they just shared them with their partners, they could improve their sex lives dramatically to mutual benefit. But
Okay. Who are the authors of this?
Yeah.
Well, we have Christiana Northrup, Pepper Schwartz, PhD,
Oh,
and,
Pepper.
and James
Yeah.
Witt, PhD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course she is. Pepper.
I'd like to think that, to be honest, I think that is wrong.
Oh, what part? Oh, I like it. Challenge.
Well,
What?
first of all, I was married a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I just, in my past experience, I mean, if I told a man my fantasy, I think he broke up with me. So I kind of think that you learn, or not kidding about
Yeah.
that, but you just, they look at you really strange and you're like, oh, too much info. Okay.
That's interesting,
But
though.
no, seriously. And is it my generation? Because I literally went, okay, never going to do that again. He's
It's-
looking like, oh.
It's not
you
your
know?
generation.
Oh, that's a whole other deal. That's
not.
No,
interesting.
I mean,
okay.
like, because we were thought I was in a healthy relationship, and I did do exactly what he said and
Shared it. And how did he respond? Not.
it wasn't that positive.
Was it negative?
Well, it wasn't positive.
Okay.
and then it was questioning me often when we were together out and about, and so it was like,
honey, then that's so much deeper.
yeah. So it was
I'm
just kind of,
sorry.
you know,
Well, that's
awkward.
why
Yeah, I was in a good relationship.
women are
which is
less
fine.
likely to share their fantasies because they are more worried about how they will be seen after that.
Well,
If you are with the right one, you know that they're going to understand you. They're your pal. They're your posse. And you can share it together and have fun and learn more about each other, and it can bring you closer. That's how it should be. You're saying no. I love it. Can you come and tell me why? Nobody knows who you are.
Yeah,
They'll just hear a
hit the
voice.
microphone, yeah,
Can you?
for real.
Seriously. Because can you share it with someone else? Because I love that you are saying no. I want to know what's in your head.
Hit the microphone, yeah.
Is that okay? I want to hear this.
No one will know.
I think there's something to being leaving some mystery,
Why?
because some things are better unsaid.
Why?
It's kind of your own little fantasy, your own thoughts.
So that would typically come from someone that hasn't had, which is the case for most people, hasn't had a full experience of being completely safe with someone. That they can be fully accepted for who they are and how they think. Right?
That could be.
Right. And so if you don't feel safe, if you've ever been shamed or you have any background, because shame is a heavy duty one in society, especially in the U.S. Well, not even just the U.S., but regardless, Brene Brown does a whole thing on the effects of shame, the destruction of what shame does to us. And so then we start to go in, we withdraw, we go inside, and then we have a really hard time connecting with people on the level that we really starve for, and that the person that we are in love with and that's in love with us have a hard time connecting as well. But it is true. I mean, so I hear what you're saying, and I respect that. If you aren't safe with the person, if you know you just genuinely can't trust them to hold your heart and your thoughts in a good space, then yeah, that you should keep that for yourself and your identity. But when you really do find the right one, and you can, where you can be totally transparent, and it's sexy and fun and unique and bonding, that's the good stuff, and that's what we all deserve, and that's what we're all hopefully striving for.
That's fair.
Okay. Not here to challenge you, but sort of, right? But then at the same time, I think it's good that we challenge each other because that's how we all learn. And there's so much I can learn. I'm constantly a student myself. Yeah.
You.
Thank you for that.
It sounds like
Thank
you and Lance have a really good relationship.
It's
and
crazy.
really open.
Well, it's a work in progress.
You literally
but
took-
we're learning.
You literally almost touched. So, fear of judgment about our own particular fantasies is what keeps many of us from speaking up.
Yeah.
You may know what gives you pleasure, but what makes you feel shame or guilt is how am I going to bring this into my relationship? Will I be judged? Will my partner run the other way?
Right. Yeah.
You guys are just hitting it out of the park.
If
before
you're
I can even
fearing
say it.
anything with your partner, they shouldn't be your partner. Or if they're already your partner and you fear them, you need major help in a very loving, respectful way. I don't mean to overuse the word loving, but oh my Lord, I'm not kidding. Yeah.
Okay, I've been divorced for quite some time. Okay, more than 15 years.
Uh-huh.
I seriously have not gone on very many dates because I was busy raising my 2 children.
Yeah.
And I can focus on more than one thing at a time. So this is fascinating to me,
That's
Good.
well,
this whole thing,
Good.
because
Good. That's why we're here.
it's been
That's why
so
we do
long,
this.
and it's like, oh, life went on without me.
And yet
Everyone's-
it's just waiting for you, which is so cool. It's just waiting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I'm not that ready yet.
Oh, okay, that's fine. But
5 more years,
it'll wait
maybe.
for when you're ready. Okay.
I mean, just
Yes.
the last part ahead of that
Okay,
was
yes,
a
yes,
conversation
you go,
with your
Mike.
partner should be a safe space to explore what erotically you have never given voice to. So that's really, you guys really touched on how you should be able to speak about it. And even if it's like, oh, that's,
Yeah.
even if it's not something you're expecting, just kind of take it as what it is. A fantasy is not like, I did this. It's like, this is something that's, totally normal apparently, because people use this to kind of get through life, right?
Sure.
Just in general, yeah.
All sorts of things. Yeah.
Like people used to fantasize about, this rock making fire. That was the first fantasy, I feel like. So I mean, it goes way back.
Yeah, and thank God. Yeah.
Yes, we have. We will be getting to. Well,
Yeah, share a little more. That's cool.
okay, yeah. So
Are you guys liking this? Is it okay? Okay, good. All
But I
right.
want to hear from these ladies because they're literally, looking at their faces going,
There's some sharp
oh,
females.
I
Oh.
needed to like really, figure out the facial features that they're like, oh, they're just, yes.
I'll do it. I have some.
Okay, you're gonna grab the mic.
Because I
Pull
can
it
tell
up.
by their smiles, they've got lots going on, and they're wiggling.
I want to talk about this fantasy thing for a second.
Okay, good.
Yes, please.
Because I had a relationship for many years that was very rich in fantasy.
Is this the one I know about?
Yeah.
Oh,
I like
And
the
it was
sound of this.
Yeah.
and it was
yeah.
initially, as you say, super sexy and super connected and super trusting and super it was just I thought it was super. I just thought it was super.
yeah.
Over time, something happened in that relationship where my fantasies shifted to wanting to be seen. And there became too much of a life rich in otherness and not a whole lot of, I'm using, fingers looking in my eyes, like you're here with me right now. Like all the rest of that stuff can fade away.
Yes.
Because it took over what started to be something that I thought was really super connected.
And fun. Yeah.
So for me, when I think of fantasy at this point, I think fantasy is an extension. I wrote this down when you first started talking about it because I wanted not to forget it.
Okay.
So I'll tell you, as something that is just an extension of, it's not an escape,
Amen.
but it's I categorize it as an extension of an inner goal or a dream, in that the specific fantasy is the means to an end to achieve that feeling.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, it just turned into wanting to be seen. Like I wanted to be seen, and I wanted to be the center of
Okay.
the center of that.
Escape the fantasy.
Well, at that moment I did, but even in
Oh,
the
and bring
beginning,
it to
even in the
reality.
beginning, through the whole thing.
That's
That's
heavy.
true. That's how that ended up. Shall I?
But was it your real fantasy, or was it his fantasy, and then you kind of started to live the fantasy with him to get?
I would say it was all fair game. It was all really, really open and very, very. I mean, it was super
Interesting.
open. But then it became all consuming, and not so much like on my part, but on my partner's part. It became,
Yeah.
very big, and
Which is a
then
whole
I-
different
Then I
topic.
just wanted it to
Obsessive.
come back, and
Where you can have the loss of self. You can go, yeah.
and that's something that I had dealt with
Okay.
before.
Yeah.
So that's what I've got, ladies.
We're super supportive.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Amen, women. Okay. All right, Mike.
All right, well, I mean, you guys covered pretty much everything I could possibly talk about on that. I have some lists from studies that have been done.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
So we have
Okay.
top
We'll
10
give our thoughts on
fantasies
this.
for
If
women.
we agree or not.
Top
yeah.
10 fantasies for men.
Okay.
What do we want to hear first? It's up to
Women.
the audience. Women first.
Yeah, let's do women.
I agree, yes. Number 10, being a swinger.
Ew. I mean,
No.
Everyone? Well, sex therapist Dr. Kat Van Kirk says that it can be a turn on to see your partner being wanted by someone else. Being desired by men and women simultaneously appeals to women on one level, while on another, being watched or watching their partner with other people can be a turn on because of the change in boundaries with one another and the variety of sexual experiences available.
what country is this from? What planet?
Germany.
I missed
No,
a lot in
that's-
18 years. Good goodness, no. I would
Okay.
say no to that one.
Okay. Well, no.
I'm trying to
I-
be
yeah.
open-minded,
Yeah.
but
Okay. So that's the number one.
That's number 10.
Oh, number 10. Okay. Thank God.
Out of 10.
that'll be
Okay. So
100
swinger.
for me.
Okay. Be a swinger. All right.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Domination sex. In a world where women are not empowered to be dominant, the reason behind the popular dominatrix fantasy is easy to understand. Women are able to be assertive, confident, and dominant during domination sex and are in fact empowered to do so.
I think I couldn't do that because I probably like it too much. Like,
And I don't like to
get
hurt
on your
people.
knees. Wash the floor.
I could do that. Yeah.
Show me your credit cards. Show me the money. I want to see your portfolio. What? No. Out.
You've got that down a little too well.
Oh, really well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just can't hurt people. Okay, but that's a whole different, cute, funny way. Okay, sure. All right. Gail's gonna start a group. Okay. Yeah.
Role playing.
Role playing.
Role playing is the easiest way to spice up what they can quote a vanilla sex life. I always tell my couple clients looking to add more passion to their lovemaking to consider role playing as an option. When we assume roles in the bedroom, we are given the freedom to release our inhibitions through the portrayal of this role
That makes
or
me sad.
character.
That makes me sad. I have too many married couples I've worked with that went there, and it made it worse. So, nope, I don't
I'm
agree
so
with that
bad
one.
at
Who was
that.
that? That wasn't Dr. Robbie, was it?
No.
Okay, good.
No, it was not.
Okay.
Can I tell a funny story?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I tried that. It was so bad.
Oh, what were you? What was the role play?
mailman
Can you share
was
that?
weird.
I think I had to be the French maid or something.
So okay.
Like, yeah, it was with the
Did
little
you try
skirt.
it? It didn't go well?
I was married.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, this is.
No.
I'm like, this is so degrading. I
did-
don't want to
Oh,
do that.
yeah, no, actually, it is. I
like
think
we
it
were
is. I
tried.
think
It
it's-
was like trying to be, kind of cute.
What was
whatever.
he? You were the maid. What was he?
Who knows?
Him? Oh, okay.
That is a pretty
No, it
degrading
was
one.
so not sexy. And I'm the worst actress. It was like, where are the cue cards? He's like, what cue cards? And I'm like, I don't know.
You don't know what to do now. You're all dressed up.
I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do?
How do I clean? Do I? What do I?
How do
what is
I
this?
clean?
It's a duster.
No,
Oh,
you know
okay,
what
yes.
it is? I think as a woman at that age, I really wanted whoever I was with to love and worship me as me. I didn't
Just
really
you.
think I needed
Yeah.
to be a French maid.
Right.
Oui.
Which you
You know
shouldn't.
what I mean?
Exactly.
I
Which
mean,
is why
like,
it doesn't work.
I thought it was hot. I mean, gosh, I was 30. My body was perfect back then. Hello. Could you please just worship me? I mean, compared to now, it's like, hold everything up.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I just wanted to be the hot babe.
Now, when you have to become someone else with one another is a big problem. All right. Next.
All right. Oh, well, let's see. These are fantasies.
Yes.
And these are other. Okay.
Oh, okay, guys.
Number
All right.
7, sex with a stranger.
Nope. Next.
Threesome with another woman.
Nope. Next.
Oh my
Number
God.
5, okay, threesome with 2 men.
Okay.
Well, now we're talking.
kidding.
Now we're talking.
Well, but that's
I'm
Fine.
listening.
Yeah. No.
I must be getting
But
old.
that. Okay. So wait. So sex with a. Wait. So what?
Serious-
That was 4th or 3rd or 7th?
6 was
Six.
threesome with another woman.
'Kay.
5 was threesome with 2 men.
Okay.
Back
so,
to back.
So you're saying that your partner is not enough. Okay. Yeah. Next.
Or they just, I guess.
That's what you're saying.
Number
But you
4.
have to remember, some people do have different appetites.
I know.
Yes, it's
I'm
true.
not judging.
It's because I think we're
I'm
from
just-
Minnesota. We're kind of square.
Well,
I think.
yes.
Don't you think? I'm so square.
No,
I-
Minnesotans are not square. Oh my
You don't
lord.
think so?
Oh, there's
I'm
a lot of stuff going down here.
Really?
No. Yeah.
It's behind closed doors.
Yeah,
We don't
I
know.
have
hear
been-
all of it though.
I have been living under a rock.
Yeah, okay.
I'll read the explanation
Okay.
for that one.
Okay,
Women enjoy
okay.
being the sole focus of sex, says Dr. Von Kirk. It can help them feel, that's a real person, it can help them feel like a goddess, like that 2 men are fawning over them. And really, can you blame them? Depending on the orientation of the parties involved, 2 women and a man, threesome may be a safer route to go for women, but it also means sharing the spotlight with another lady. Not so when you're getting your freak on with 2 dudes. Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a lot of
Such it
work.
was written, yes.
Is it bad? It's been a long time, but it does seem like
You
a
have
long-
something to say? Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Right up
I'm
to
not
the
going to say who
microphone,
you are.
sir.
We are not going to say who he is. Okay.
How come you think it's different? Because I have a lot of friends that are definitely down for threesomes and foursomes and whatever else.
Sure.
Why do you think it's different generationally?
Because
Just curious.
I think as you get older, you get more set in your ways.
Well, but like when, say for example, when you were 21, would, not that you have to answer, but as a whole, do you think your generation would have been more open to it? Whereas
Yeah.
I think we
all
would have
of my friends
considered
basically
it.
I know have multiple
Yeah.
and random, hookups.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's more prevalent.
And this is coming from a guy in his early 30s. So thank you. Thank you for asking that question and sharing that. I think, and I'm not here to be the big, uptight, square, but I am. No, I just have seen over the years and through my own life experience, and literally I've interviewed thousands of people, men and women of all different ages and backgrounds from around the world, married and single, talk about the truth from their soul of how life and love and sex and relationships and breakdown has affected their lives and their experience now, and when it comes to joy and happiness and contentment, and all of that is really a diversion and it's shit. it's really it keeps us away from the good of what is so incredibly whole and full of life and vibrant and actually the sexiest and the most fulfilling. And it's again, so it's really a diversion, and it's something that anytime we have to go outside of ourselves on so many different levels, and again, I just think these are like so many different podcast episodes individually, but when we have to go outside of ourselves in order to find comfort, peace, joy, connection, safety, it can get us into a lot of trouble, and we're not protected on so many different levels. There's a lot of stuff that can come in and can come at us. So going back to threesomes, and when you're young and your hormones are raging and you're sexual and you are curious, and what is it like if you're a female to be with another female? What is it like if you're a male to be with another male? What is it like to so much of that is a normal part of the brain's evolution and sexuality to a degree, but there's also a point where that sort of needs to, if we evolve emotionally and maturely, and even spiritually and soulfully, that needs to kind of, it doesn't even need to be there anymore. We don't even want it. We don't crave it. Just like, well, anyway, whole other deal. So the bottom line is it's at the end of the day, if people are using that to get fed, to feel alive, there's so much more on a deeper level. It's typically, not to get too heavy, but it's a wound that needs some attention put into it so it can heal. And you have something to say, though. Yes,
I do. I think there's a reason why they call it fantasy. Fantasy is fantasy. Reality is reality. And just because something may exist in fantasy doesn't necessarily mean you want it to exist in reality.
True. Very true.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Did that answer your question, though, young man in your early 30s? Did it? Is it generational?
I can think why.
It's not generational. I mean, the same thing was happening when we were growing up, and I think even back in the biblical days, it's they're all getting it on with everyone.
But
it's what where are we full or not? But go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think when you're not in love with somebody, it's easier to fantasize and be flirtatious and be flirty and possibly do that dance. But when you're in a relationship or you're madly passionately in love with somebody, I literally would die right then and there if that person was with some other person I had to watch. I don't know.
You wouldn't want it, and they wouldn't want it either.
Yeah, that to me that seems really not normal.
It's our opinion and thought. Well, it's not normal or abnormal. It just is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's not good or bad or wrong. It's just that's just my personal.
I can tell you why I think there's a difference from someone who's in their early 30s as somewhat of an authority figure, since I did all this research.
He's the expert.
All right, I love it. Okay, Mike.
I think
subject matter expert.
Well, the fact is, growing up when we did, right? It wasn't, when you guys were young. What do you remember seeing on TV for advertisements and stuff like that, right? Like, we grow up seeing advertisements in media, and everything in the culture is much more open and sexualized. And also there's something called the internet, where they have pornography that of any it's like not storing your dad's Playboys underneath the mattress anymore. Oh, God, I hope I don't get found out. It's like anything that the imagination can go to, you can see that actually happening, and then it kind of probably snowballs a little bit because you see something and you want, oh, that was pretty crazy. I felt good about that, and it may be a little bit weirder than that, and all of a sudden I'm down the rabbit hole. I don't.
Well, no, it's true.
It's like totally true, though, I feel like.
But it is because then that's the whole science piece. It gets the whole, it gets the neurotransmitters, all the the satiation parts of the brain, the whole thing that gets that we're the same part of the brain that's addicted to sugar or drinking or smoking or they're all drugs, right? Yep. Even anxiety is a drug, actually. needing to worry is a drug. So it's just that's why it's dangerous. We have to be careful because yes, the brain it's its own little deal. But okay, go ahead.
Okay,
this is going like deep and heavy. I think we've got like a calm group tonight.
Yeah,
so
well, you guys are all
it
pitching
is what
in.
it is though. It's like,
the one I thought no one wanted to get up and pitch in. Everyone's pitching in. It's really
I love
nice.
it.
Yeah.
What's the number one fantasy?
Yeah, number one fantasy.
Aren't you guys curious? I mean, really?
Totally.
I mean, this is.
Should we guess?
I think
we've already had. Okay, so we've had dominating. We've had threesomes.
Being a
so
swinger, dominant sex, role
right.
playing, sex with a stranger, threesome with another woman, threesome with two men.
So okay, so who knows what the number one fantasy is? Who knows? What do we think it is? My gosh, I don't know what's we've covered. To me, we've covered it all, which shows how incredibly naive I am.
What about public sex?
Man,
that is yes, it's coming up. Yes.
How about like in bed eating?
Top three.
Unlimited cheesecake.
Unlimited cheesecake. I'm so
in bed
bitter.
watching movies like Downton Abbey or something.
Gail.
Like totally Netflix crazy.
Right. Right. Never mind. I guess not.
Or no.
Okay. No. I
No,
guess
that's not it.
It's not the one.
It's a different show. It's the great grandmother show.
All right. Well,
Squaresville. That's going to be my podcast, Squaresville.
Okay. What? Okay, go.
Okay, well, start.
Control this.
Back.
Control us,
We're
Mike.
coming back. We're coming back.
Okay, here we
and
go.
Scene. Okay.
Okay.
Number 4, voyeurism.
Okay.
Clients fantasize about voyeurism, described as basically as pornos in real life, watching other people have sex.
Okay.
Really?
People like that.
I have such
all
bad
making me
eyesight.
so
No, I'm serious.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's a big one.
Okay.
People are into that.
This is making my heart sad.
Well, people. Yeah.
We are so boring. Or I'm
It's all
boring.
no. We're just okay. Go.
Guys
yeah.
haven't been to Amsterdam lately because people pay a pretty penny for that.
I've
sort
been
of thing.
there. It was fun, but okay. Yeah. Go. Yeah.
Not the right areas, apparently. I'm just kidding. Okay. Exhibitionism, number 3. So there it is. A good guess.
Exhibitionist.
Okay.
Oh, where
Sex,
you?
people in public is being seen.
That's
right?
kind of a 20s thing.
Okay.
Or 30s,
Did we?
20s thing. I think.
Oh, there. Okay, there. I was like, did we lose
Young
a couple?
people.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
They're
No.
making out over there. They're doing the fantasy.
Okay, no, off the bed.
They're exhibitionists.
All right.
But
The
it
bunk
is
beds are
bad.
out of the lodge. All right. Yeah.
Sex with a younger man, number 2.
Oh, I like that one.
See? I knew that was going to be like a very
A little
popular
square,
one.
but I'm coming out of my squareness. I
Well, see,
guess.
you don't have any sons, so I could never go there.
Yeah, that
No.
is. Yeah, that
Couldn't go there.
kind of changes
Yeah, but
things.
I can't do young.
Okay. Okay. Next. Okay. So younger men.
That's number 2. So
Okay.
the number 1, any more guesses?
With an older man? That's just
Not number 1, not the number
not
1.
okay. No? Like super old?
Okay. Oh. Okay. What is it?
Lesbian sex is the
That's
number
the
1.
That's
Number
the number
one?
one?
According to this
There's no
study,
cheesecake?
which is pretty much mean.
Or Learjet involved?
close. Yeah, no.
Shopping? There's no shopping.
Oh. Really?
Yes.
That's the number
That's
one.
the number one?
Lesbian sex is a fantasy among women because lesbians are more skilled in the knowledge about how to provide pleasure for a woman.
Was this done by a lesbian?
Maybe.
Is this research done by a lesbian?
Or a man.
Right,
Probably,
right,
yes.
yeah,
It's probably a man fantasizing, hoping that
It's
his
like-
wife would want to be with the neighbor.
So, look, babe,
Or the
look,
nanny.
Look what
It's
number
like,
1
honey,
was.
how about the nanny?
Oh Lord.
That's hilarious.
It's like,
Okay, let's clean this up.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Let's change the world
Okay,
fantasies.
well.
Okay.
we
No,
are-
no, I'm in trouble.
Well, we
okay,
have
keep
the-
going.
Oh,
It's your show too.
That's the women fantasies. We'll just quickly run through the men.
Oh, this
Oh,
was
yeah.
a women's fantasy.
this is
Yes.
women's fantasy?
Yes.
Like women? There's no cheesecake?
No cheesecake involved. You could throw cheesecake
There's
into
no
any of those
shopping and
scenarios.
cheesecake or
Yeah,
Netflix.
I'm not
Throw
not
it
down
is-
for that. Okay, go. Yeah.
let's
Okay,
go.
so men's
Let's
top
rattle them
fantasies.
off.
Here we go.
Rattle them
Ladies,
off.
we have to listen to what men want. Come on, talk.
Okay.
Number 10,
All
two
right.
women at the
Oh,
same time.
gosh.
Okay,
Number
yeah,
9,
we knew that.
Sex in nature.
Cute. See
Oh,
how
really?
clean the men have it? Sex in nature.
Oh, they can go hunting while.
Yeah. That's
Sweet.
maybe not while hunting, but yeah, okay. And number
in
8,
nature.
sex in public.
Okay.
Number 7, voyeurism.
Uh huh.
Number 6, unattainable women.
What?
What?
Yeah, that
like
happens all the time
supermodel?
for men.
No, like librarians, they say, teachers, nurses. People are just like,
Oh, that is such a mommy thing. Okay, that's a whole other
is it?
episode. Yep.
Oh.
All right.
She kind of takes the
Sexiness out of it. Sorry, it is what it is. Okay, yeah.
Number 5, virgin women.
Are there any
Ew.
left?
Well, the first time is iconic.
Man, come on, boys.
That really was on the list.
Well, maybe
Yes.
when. Okay.
It's even written about in the Bible. Religious zealots really like virgins too, and yet
Well,
they're.
who doesn't? But I mean, okay, next.
Here we are in modern times, not religious zealots, and decades of sexual liberation across so many fronts, and to this day there remains a mystique about men and women who haven't had their first time yet, which I just don't get.
Okay.
But that's only once.
Okay.
Number
Yep.
4,
Right.
experienced women.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
There.
so
Right,
that's
boys.
not me, but okay.
Number 3, threesomes and orgies.
Okay.
Number 2, submission. So the guys used to.
They
This is
do. It's
this-
true.
yeah.
What
Mama thing again.
They want to submit.
They want to
us?
submit. Yes, they want that woman to control them, and yet they say they hate
Can
it,
you
but
wash
they
the
love
floor?
it. It's a
Get
whole
on your
deal.
knees.
It's a whole deal.
Please start
Or see,
washing
you could,
another fantasy.
it could
there.
work, honey.
Yeah, that's
Just
good,
start
yeah.
it. Yeah, it could work. Okay,
You're
yeah.
the
Sorry.
French maid now.
Yeah.
Oui,
Okay.
oui.
Yeah.
And number 1, domination. So like it's good 50 Shades of Grey style.
But the guy wants
I
the
just want
woman
to clean
beat
this
them.
all up.
No,
Oh.
the guy wants to be the dominant one.
Okay.
Oh, he does. Aren't they usually?
That's what I'm
Isn't
saying.
that how it
It's
is?
a weird-
99% of the time.
This is one study, though, guys.
Okay,
Don't take
all right,
it as being
okay.
fact. Okay,
Okay. All right.
so
So then you went to.
we talked about fantasies.
This
and
whole
I was
thing
like,
has just gone like spaghetti.
This is what
Okay.
we had a lot of interaction. I mean, you guys.
I want to
really-
hear what
yes.
the public said.
So
Because you went
well,
where?
I went to the heart of Fantasyland.
Recognize that, people.
Is that like a Renaissance
Here I am at
fantasy?
the joust, the Minnesota
Is that
Renaissance
the Nordic?
Festival.
The Viking?
Hopefully I don't get knocked off the
Has
horse.
fantasy written all over it. Yep.
So sexy. I miss so much. 20 years not dating, I see.
Well, big shout out to the Inland Seas, the band that was like, yeah, absolutely
Okay.
record us. They set the tone when you walk in.
Did they
Oh,
pay
so you
you
didn't pipe
to
this
play?
in? That was really them?
That was really them.
Aw.
This is
Okay.
me being recorded at the Minnesota Renaissance
Okay.
Festival, right by the Joust.
Give them a shout out one more time. What was the name of
The Inland Seas.
The Inland Seas.
Yeah, they play a lot of like Gaelic music and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, they could see them at Merlin's Rest, I think. Was the place? Yeah, it's
All
good.
right.
Yes,
Awesome. They were good. Okay.
absolutely. So I've got some questions from real people out there.
He's so good at this. I love
And
it.
it's always
The State Fair
kinda
was
interesting.
hysterical. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. I tried to do my best way to ask in the way they would understand.
What is thy question for the Love Happy Hour?
How do you keep your relationship interesting after many, many moons?
That was just so wonderful.
This guy, he
Uh-huh.
was a little bit into his cups of mead.
I could tell.
And he literally dropped his whole tankard of mead. He was just very sad about it, but he
Okay.
right away.
Yeah,
Answered.
So how do you
answer
keep
that,
your
Kate.
relationship interesting
After many
many
moons.
many moons? Keep it real with one another.
Or look at the list.
We'll send you the
Just give him the list.
no, just keep it real with one another. I mean, I just games they don't work. They're not fun. They create more separation. But if you actually are just kind of real and raw, and you keep yourself totally straight within yourself and honoring your value and what brings you joy and pleasure on a higher level in life, keeps you young and youthful and sexy and vibrant and wise, and then that's a turn on emotionally and spiritually to your partner and to other people, and you just get that vibe flowing back and forth, and you have fun and you play together. But go ahead. What next?
Well, I also asked people questions, so we'll kind of intersperse these.
Many moons.
So I asked people; they were a little taken aback because they didn't know what I was going to ask.
Yes.
What, sir, is your ultimate fantasy?
Oh, that's interesting. I think it would involve a barrel of brandy and my girlfriend.
Very nice.
See?
All right.
Okay, sweet.
Maybe some Jello. Very interesting.
Okay.
He's like, maybe some Jello.
Brandy and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sweet.
Yeah, Jello. He threw that in at the end. He thought it was good. Yeah. So
Okay.
okay, this one's pretty interesting.
Okay.
We'll call this one a stump the expert almost.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
And what is thy question for the Love Happy Hour?
Okay, so love relationship advice. So let's say you're dating 3 people and you're married to one of them. What do you do with the feelings that arise when you talk about dates with other people?
What?
Is that it's it's known about by them?
Oh yeah, you wouldn't want to be unethical.
All right, cool. All right, that's a good question. That's the first.
What? He's married. He has 2 girlfriends.
Yeah, he's
Well,
a
he's busy.
polygamist relationship.
Oh, is he from Utah?
No, but it's not. I mean, not necessarily polygamy because that's marrying more than one person, but it's a polyamorous relationship. So yes.
He is a tramp.
So what was his question again?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I'd like to play it again.
Let's
What
do
is thy ultimate fantasy?
Oh, not that one.
What is thy question for the Love Happy Hour?
Okay, so love relationship advice. So let's say you're dating 3 people and you're married to one of them. What do you do with the feelings that arise when you talk about dates with other people?
Well, we'd have to know more. Like what feelings are arising.
They probably have an open relationship.
Yeah, of some kind. Well, they know about it.
Yeah. So what are the feelings? Is it I'm more in love with another? I'm more attracted to someone else? I'm feeling insecure, so I need this. Do you need more than me? I mean, so next time we need to make them go deeper. Like, what do you mean by that?
So
I literally would blow my brain.
Let's just say that it's that he's not, saying it's more than this or anything like that, but just when discussing it. So, wow, I had a really great time with Gina last night, and boy, that barbecue she makes is delicious. And then the feelings that arise from that, obviously, would be jealousy, and this is a sticky wicket.
It's a sticky wicket on purpose.
This is kind of like what is it, Lorena Bobbitt situation?
It could be. It could go there. I have nothing for that. I'm so on the opposite side of the spectrum, Mike.
Did we recognize that man?
Oh, Lord.
I kind of thought I knew him. No, seriously, I'm like, sounds like somebody I know.
He's
his girlfriend's husband.
Very well adjusted, very nice guy, very nice.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Don't fall for the person. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I want to meet him and his girls.
Well, he'd be more than willing to meet you, I'm sure.
Well, no, not like to meet him. I mean, just because I'm fascinated now, because that's super weird.
Okay. Well, we don't want to judge. We don't want to say that's weird. That's not nice.
At
no,
the
we don't want to say
Renaissance
it's
Festival.
weird.
He's doing.
Okay.
He's doing his thing.
Oh, this world. Okay.
Okay. Here is
What?
Well, let's do back to back.
All right.
What is your ultimate fantasy?
Oh, God.
See, everyone has the same answer right away.
Can I just say that I would like to be able to fly? That sounds really nice.
See,
That'd be
that's
fun,
cool.
right?
That's a good one.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Cool.
And then,
all right. Yeah.
the guy who, the Many Moons guy who spilled his meat, I asked him without his gal, they're both dressed to a T to be at the Renaissance Festival. I asked him,
what is thy ultimate fantasy?
If I was to partake in the venture of flying.
That's the same.
Oh, this is the one that just said the flying was him? Were they together?
Yeah, they're together.
Oh,
and
we find that a lot.
Yeah, there's twice
Isn't
now
that cute?
that
That's
couples
true.
have had the same answer. So just look for a guy with a microphone asking questions at places, and if you have the same answer,
I've just learned I
love.
can't do a podcast on fantasy again. I'm not the right chick.
Yeah, you did really.
Not the right
I mean,
relationship
you were
expert.
you were really right there
I'm
with
like
it.
that overprotective mother of everyone.
No, you were right there with it until the polygamy, but I mean,
Okay.
it's I
All
can
right.
understand why you backed off a little bit on that one.
Okay.
Okay. Here's another round. This is a nice little light one. Everyone
Okay.
has this issue.
Okay.
What is thy question for the Love Happy Hour?
When you can't agree on a movie, what do you do?
We almost had Tom's music. Okay. When you can't agree on a movie. That
It's
happens,
just-
and you take turns.
Oh, I don't know
You
about
take
that.
turns.
I-
Yeah, you let them have their movie, and you see what you can find within it to talk about after, and vice versa.
Take
Well,
turns.
I know,
to
you're
say
right.
I
It
have
does,
some-
but you just do it. Yeah. It's part of one
Flip
of
a
those.
coin, maybe. I
You
usually
could do that as
start.
well.
I
Yeah.
start literally hours beforehand going through options and getting a list, getting a pie chart. upright. He's like, okay, let's eliminate these. All right, good, yes.
Can't you just go into different rooms and watch different movies?
Yeah, I can do that too.
No,
I
seriously,
totally know it works. It works beautifully.
Totally, because you know what? I'm just a movie snob, and I totally want to watch my movie, and I don't think there are too many men that want to watch Mamma Mia with me, okay? And Mamma Mia too.
Okay. So I have to say, here's the deal. Do you have anything else more? Otherwise, I really want to say something.
Well, yeah, you can go ahead and say what you want to say. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I know some of you here in this room, and your hearts and your stories, your backstories. I know what you want and what you're looking for, and and I know human beings in general because I have been doing this for so darn long. And as I said, I've heard so much from so many people. I've heard, really, I believe, the deepest, if we talk about fantasies, the deepest fantasies from men and from women, again, of all different ages and backgrounds. And we are just, and hearing all of that keeps me in my line of work. It keeps me believing in people when I hear the truth behind closed doors that is actually a more beautiful truth than most people ever know. It isn't, even though, yes, I've heard all the secrets and all the deep and the nitty gritty, at the end of the day, what I end up hearing that is, again, the same from everyone is how they ultimately want something so beautiful and so pure and so high and so real. Everyone, no matter who they are, no matter what they've been through. But they are afraid to believe in it anymore for so many different reasons, because so much has been tainted through their experience of life and pain. And so I stay in it to try to bring things back to more of a healed, cleansed, kosher space so people can have what they deserve when it comes to love and life, and they stop cheating themselves
that's good.
out of what they deserve, and they start honoring themselves, and they start really, really, really getting to that quiet space within where they can listen to and hear that beautiful, amazing higher voice that is in every single one of us that tells us exactly what we need and what we deserve and what we need to do to get it. Like if we all just shut up, and it's not kind to say that, but if we just shut and listened to that, our lives would be so different, in such a beautiful way, in beautiful space. So, everyone that's here, those that I don't know, I've never met, or I don't know your backstory, whatever it was that brought you here tonight, just know that whatever has happened in your life up until this evening, let's just focus on bad for a second. Whatever brought pain or disconnect or something that doesn't feel safe, or within yourself or from someone else, or something you've done to someone else, it can all be so completely, absolutely different, amazing, and beautiful starting tomorrow. Like, I'm not kidding. Tomorrow.
Or right now.
Yeah. But it takes that moment to sit with it, to process it, to understand it, to see why we've made the decisions we have, why we've allowed what we have into our life. A lot of it is there spiritually to be teachers, but then to release. Allow the teacher to come in, experience the classroom, and now it's time for the teacher to go. But there's just so much amazing joy and fulfillment that is waiting in this world that is so beautiful and precious, that's out there for all of us. And that's what I want everyone to have. And that's what I fight so hard to help others achieve and have and have fought for in my own life. And I've been very blessed and fortunate to have finally found a lot of it. Not all of it, my Lord, I never will, I'm sure, but I keep striving. But there's just so much more than what we're allowing for ourselves, and I just want everyone to just start loving on themselves so much more. Stop worrying about getting love outside. Stop worrying about trying to find a perfect partner, because truly, when you do finally become that for yourselves, and when you start to really love and honor and value yourself, it is nuts what you attract. You don't need matchmakers. You don't need to go online. You don't need to do anything. Just energetically, the most amazing things show up for you. It's a fact. So that's my piece. You do what you want after this, but I had to say it because all of this, honestly, even though mildly entertaining, it makes me sad. There's nothing in our lives that we could do that we can't forgive ourselves for. Nothing. Because the darkest, the worst things we could ever do are coming from a space in that moment of fear, of pain, of being lost, of being confused, and we don't have to stay there. We just stay there typically because of shame. We're not going to have that anymore. We're going to get rid of it. We're going to abolish it.
Sweet
right?
Jesus.
We can all have amazing love.
Sweet.
And then we're going to help everybody find love for themselves so I don't have to do it anymore, and I can just help them. I can just watch them all have fun with each other.
Oh, that sounds like voyeurism.
Not in that way.
Just
like
saying.
It's not that way.
I have one more.
Okay, all right.
Fantasy
Okay.
from the Renaissance Festival, which I feel like a lot of people can relate with.
Okay.
He's always trying to keep
close
it so
it out.
close.
I know, I love it.
What's
I
your
need it.
ultimate fantasy?
Okay.
I would love to have peace on earth and goodwill toward men. However, in reality, really just a good night's sleep.
Oh, she must be a mom.
Amen,
New
sister.
mom. That's cute.
I like
That's the last one I want to play. 'cause
Thank
it's-
you,
yes,
Mike.
No problem. And
All right.
we'll let the inland seas play us out.